Hello, welcome back. Today I have something a little different than just an unboxing. Although I do have an unboxing later in the video. I wanted to talk a little bit about, when I started collecting art, I had goals in mind. I had certain characters I wanted represented, certain artists from certain stories, like just things from my teenage years, my heyday of the mid '90s reading comics. So there's a lot of things that I wanted to kind of check off the list. Uh, but as I mean, any other collector I'm sure can relate. Your goals kind of change as you go along. Things kind of pop up. You're like, oh, that kind of interests me. But one goal that's remained the same, even though I've added kind of things to the the list that seems to be never ending. Although hopefully I have an idea of like where I want to get ultimately. But uh, I wanted to have something that's representative of me, of my tastes, and not just in comics, but like for instance, talking about the subject of today's video is the character of Jonah Hex, and Jonah Hex is a character that I knew nothing about. I just knew the Western setting, ex Civil War soldier, um, but I always liked that Western motif. So he always was somebody that like, oh, I think I would like that if I ever read some of the comics, but I just never read. Uh, so I've been on it's kind of a separate subject. I've been on a gunslinger spawn kick. I love Brett Booth's art. Could be a subject of a whole other video. But I was on that kind of Western gunslinger kick, and another artist that I'm fond of is Tom Riley. I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but hopefully it'll all come together. But Tom Riley posts a lot of warm up sketches on online, and one that he did particularly that caught my interest in my eye was something I really liked, and it is a Jonah Hex piece. So he drew this and posted it online, and I was just like, wow, I just really love the panoramic feel of the piece, just the size of it. It gives you that widescreen kind of old west, uh, you know, presentation, which I really enjoy. I love the the somber nature of these beaten bounties that are being collected by Hex here. So uh, so I picked up this piece, and I was like, oh, that'll be my piece that represents Jonah Hex in my collection, that old Western character. Well, I posted this onto my comic art fans gallery, and there were some comments, and like Ruben had pointed out, he was like, I should really check out the Jonah Hex series from 2006. Ended right. It was 2006 to 2011. It ended. I think New 52 ended the Jonah Hex series. I'm not sure about timing, but anyway, so I had jumped back into comics with New 52 and Greg Capullo on Batman. So there was an era, the age that I missed. I missed years of comics. That Jonah Hex series was one of them. I'd always heard, in going back, I've heard that's a really good series to check out. So anyway, I got the Tom Riley piece, the Jonah Hex uh, warm up sketch, even though it's like a fully fleshed out piece. So I picked that up, and then since Ruben had commented, you really should go back and check out the Jonah Hex series. It had always been on my radar that I've been on this kind of gunslinger kick. I was like, I really should. And then he pointed that out. I was like, okay, definitely, it's time to go back and read some of those. So I have the DC, it's DC Infinite. It's the online, the digital subscription. So I read comics on my iPad. I know, blasphemous, but I really like the ease that it is. Like I have access to all these series right there on the iPad. So I started reading the Jonah Hex series, and I really like it. Now I haven't read all of it. I've read, I think I read like 7 issues, but one thing that's nice about the series is it's very episodic in nature. So far, I think this carries through the rest of the series, but it's been it's self-contained. So you read one comic, it's one story, it's one Jonah Hex adventure, and then the next issue is he's on to something else. I love that. I love that feel of you can just read a comic, read the story, and there you go. You don't have to remember what you read, before, but it's great. So anyway, I read the first 7 issues, and they're all done by Luke Ross is the artist, and um, each I don't know how many issues each artist does, but they vary. I mean, it's only Luke Ross did 7 issues, and then it goes on to different artists, and they all have a kind of a short 6 issue kind of stint, and then move on. But I like that approach because it helps sell that episodic nature of the series. So anyway, with that said, the timing kind of worked out that there were some pages that popped up on Acclaim show, and I never, well, not never, I really don't like buying on Acclaim shows because I don't like that feel of, well, you got to buy it now. It's just right in your face. It's nice to see what's available, but I don't like that kind of like pressure of buy this now before somebody else grabs it. I don't like that aspect of collecting. I like to have things kind of planned out somewhat. Anyway, that being said, some Luke Ross pages from Jonah Hex popped up on the Claim show, so I grabbed a couple. Now, this one is from issue 2. So I love this one because it's a great feel of gives that spaghetti western vibe of Sergio Leone had that use of using like super tight close-ups and then cut to like a wide angle. So I like that feel of this page. You got the eyes right there in the eyes of Jonah Hex, and then you see the town that they're riding into. Plus, you have a gunfight here. So I love this as a representative page of just a good old western page. So I grabbed that one, and then another one popped up, and another good old western thing you see all the time is there's the gunfight on the horses. So here, Jonah Hex is chasing a bounty, and so I just like that. There's a lot of spaces. The pages have a lot of spaces, like not like here and here, because what they do a lot is, since it is episodic in nature, even within the each issue, they have chapters. So there's a chapter title, which would be right here in this blank space. But I like it because it's one situation leads itself into another situation. Jonah Hex is chasing this bounty. This is the beginning of this chapter of the issue. So he's chasing this bounty into a town that's being there's like an oil baron who is chasing the citizens out of the town, and then here they are. They're leaving the town, and then they're riding into the town, which you see in there. But yeah, so I think that was really cool. A lot of like Western elements you see a lot. So I thought, okay, now I have good representation of Jonah Hex in my collection. Well, one more popped up, so that's what we're gonna unbox here today. So and these were all inexpensive pieces, so it just kind of made it fun and easy to add to the collection. What we got here? And the other interesting thing about Luke Ross and that arc for Jonah Hex, they're pencil pages, but there were no inks. Like the art was published. The pencils are the published art. They just colored the pencils for the comic. So, which I like. Okay, drop in here. I like when that happens, when you have published pencil pieces, because I really love pencil art. But also, if it was inked separately, then I feel like to me personally, I need the pencils and the inks, because I don't like the idea of owning the pencils and then knowing the inks are out there. So so yeah, so this is for me like the best of both worlds. You get the get to look at the pencil art, and it actually is the published art, which is thumbs up in my book. So, okay, let's see. Bubble wrap, bubble wrap, bubble wrap. Good. Okay, let's get this out of the top loader. And we'll take a look at this. That's cool. Okay, so this this is a page from issue 2 as well. So this is the first page that I showed before. This is issue 2. This is them coming into town. This is Jonah Hex and the character Alma, who I think only appeared in this issue. They're riding into town, and then the plot of this issue is there was Jonah Hex. At the beginning of the issue, Jonah Hex is being fixed up, is healing up in a church, and there's this a priest there who is kind of keeping him safe. And while Jonah Hex is healing up, these two bandits come in and steal this this like solid gold cross that's in the church, and then they shoot the priest. Then Jonah Hex vows to get revenge. He vows to avenge the death of the priest and get the gold cross back. So this is Jonah Hex and Alma towards the end of the issue. It's the showdown with the big bad villain of the issue, and Jonah Hex has, before their duel, he has set up booby traps, dynamite through different places in the town. So this is them starting the gunfight, and then the explosions start going off. You get a good shot of Jonah Hex running there, and then there's more explosions there, and then at the end there, I like that big explosion there. The bars you see are they're going into the jailhouse where the gold cross is being stored. So that's then I think the next page you see them going in and getting the cross. But yeah, just some super detailed pencils from Luke Ross that I really enjoy looking at and taking in. So yeah, and like I said, these were some inexpensive pickups to the collection that also represent my love of westerns. So yeah, just taking it in a little more. Yeah, this is really cool. I'm very happy with this. Happy to add these to the collection. So all right, thanks again. Thanks for watching. And I have a bit of a backlog, so I have a couple more packages I need to get open. So stay tuned.